Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jaspas, and welcome back to Saturday Storytime. Technically, today isn't Saturday anymore, it's more of like Sunday. But I hope that you guys are in the mood for a little bit of a story from a very, very old friend of yours. I'm Bad Boy Jaspas and online brother Jaspas, and welcome to the third episode of Storytime. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Singapore Magic Circle. Tuck your shirts in, wear your seatbelts, and let's get ready to rock. In our previous episode, I was telling you guys about how there was a separation between me and Kevin because he was transferring schools from Temasek Secondary School to the Singapore American School. And through that, I met this friend named Leonard. Leonard helped me through my secondary 3 and secondary 4 times. It was the companionship that I didn't realize I needed, but helped me change to become closer to this online brother version of Jaspas that you guys know and love. At the end of secondary school, there was this separation between Leonard and myself again. We no longer met every single day. In fact, it was closer to like once a week, I would say. Because of that, I've found the need to meet new people within the cardistry circle, or at that point of time it wasn't really the cardistry circle, it was more of the card flourishing circle. In came the Singapore Magic Circle. It was a group of people that congregated on a forum on the internet. That forum is now dead, so I can't find any like screenshots to show you guys, but at one point there was a hustle and bustle kind of very active online notice board. People would leave messages asking other people for help, and other people would come in and say like, hey, no, we're not exposing magic. People tended to get really upset with other people who are asking for free tutorials and free tricks and stuff like that. At one point, magic was actually taken quite seriously. I went online to the Singapore Magic Circle's online forums and went into the card flourishing section. At that point of time, cardistry wasn't called cardistry, it was still called either XCM or card flourishing. Went into the forums, asked for people to come hang out, meet up, make new friends, and 100% by pure luck, it turned out that very weekend the Singapore Magic Circle was gonna have a meetup for card flourishers and magicians alike. At first I was like a little bit like, oh man, I don't know any of these guys, but thinking about it, I kind of needed a new social circle. I kind of needed to make new friends. Maybe it's time to step out of my usual lifestyle, my usual circles, and meet new people. So that weekend, I decided to go to the Singapore Magic Circle meetup. I went alone, and at this point of time, I was 17 years old, maybe 16 or 17 years old. Yep, 16 or 17 years old. And I headed down to the center of town. Town to me at that point of time wasn't a place that kids my age go to, because things there tended to be a little bit on the expensive side. I was a little bit scared, a little bit like uneasy because I don't know anybody from this circle of people, and I went to the allocated meetup location. When we went there, one of the first rules that was imposed on us was that we had to buy a drink. because it turns out that even though cardists can spend like $100 on cards whenever their favorite cardist like drops a new deck, most of us wouldn't buy an overpriced drink from the center of town. And that was the exact same case on that day. We headed down. I headed down, and I saw this whole group of people. Maybe there were like 15 to 20 people, all magicians, all card flourishers, and they were all sitting around on individual benches, individual tables with 4 chairs around it. I didn't know anyone there, so I looked for this guy called Mac, M-A-C, Mac. Apparently he was one of the Oh shit, I just came to the realization that Mac might not have been the person I thought he was. Oh boy. This is a really old story. I went to the leader of the forum, I can't remember his name. Hey, I'm Jaspas and I'm here for the meetup and I don't know what to do. What should I do? And he pointed out like different groups of people, and then he introduced me to some of them, told me to mingle, sit down with people, make some friends. I sat down and it was a group of magicians, I believe. And because of that, I started showing them some of the magic ideas I had been playing with, and we had quite a bit of fun. At this point of time, I'm 16 years old. I looked down towards the main road and this beautiful girl, she came up, she talked to her old friends, and then she talked to the individual groups of kids and like, hey, I'm Ning. I made friends with Ning, and then she showed me some magic stuff, and she complimented me on some of my magic tricks, I believe, and some of my card flourishing, and that made me feel special. At this point of time, once again, I was not very well versed in relationships. I was very weak against girls giving me attention. Granted, between her and me, I think there's a 6 to 7 years age difference. But almost instantly, I had a crush on her. It was kind of sad thinking back on it, but at the moment it felt really, really special. Another of the people that I met at this meetup was this girl, this other girl. She was a little bit shorter than me, 1 year younger than me, and she was a card flourisher. Her card flourishing skills was on point, even though she had really small hands, and it was difficult to handle cards with hands that small. She figured out a way to make cardistry work for her, despite her super duper small hands, and I respected her a lot for it. I remember talking to her and asking like, hey, who are your cardist inspirations, or who are your card flourishing inspirations? And she was telling me about, you know, the usual suspects. I think it was Dan and Dave was the main idol that she had. I myself was more of a Devo von Scattering fan, but because of some things that happened, I came to the realization that Devo's an idiot. That being said, that's a story for another time. I'll tell you guys that story some other time. So I exchanged names with this younger girl, this 1 year younger girl, and I told her, my name is Jaspas, nice to meet you. And she told me that her name was Ling Nemesis. So the leader of the Singapore Magic Circle forums, his name I absolutely can't remember anymore, even though I can remember how he looks like. Moderately handsome, not K-pop handsome, but for a normal human being, kind of handsome. Very nice skin. I remember thinking like, wow, his face skin is so smooth, it's insane. I think the main thing that he gave to me, or he contributed towards my cardistry journey, is he created a platform that allowed me to meet a lot of other like-minded people, and more importantly, he introduced me to multiple groups of them and introduced me to like all these people that are within our cardistry circle at that point of time. That helped me be able to continue my cardistry journey through the friends that I made there. That's the main thing that he gave me that allowed me to reach this point that I am in right now. Ning, however, I think as a 17-year-old kid, I was an absolute idiot. Right? In terms of love, I was horrible, 100% horrible. I didn't understand like, you know, social conventions of like, if they treat you nice, it could be because they're just nice people, not because you are the best cardist magician in the universe, or the best, most manly man guy in the universe. I didn't get that, so I always texted her like being a little bit like, hey, let's go out on a date, hey, I think you're really cute, and stuff like that. Oh, cringe, it was horrible, but she was always really, really nice about it, and I don't understand how she was nice about it. If I was dealing with myself, my 16, 17-year-old version of myself, I would not be nice to him, man. I'll be like, whoa, bro, whoa, that's not what I meant, man. But she took my adolescent flirting attempts as like, you know, I don't think she made fun of it. I don't think she looked down on it. I think she was very respectful about it, but she also allowed me to understand that there is this, it's not gonna work, man. You're a 17-year-old idiot. I'm, you know, this older, more mature person in a more mature point of my life. That's not happening. It's not gonna work. Me and you, nah. So I appreciated her for saying that a lot. And I also remember this one time. It was one of the other guys in the group in the forum gave her a birthday present, and she was very appreciative of it. And I was very surprised because what she got was essentially a hand-carved pencil and pen stand, a stand to put your, what's pens and pencils called? Your writing material kind of stand. And she, on one of our outings between me and her as we were eating at Burger King, she was explaining to me what happened, and I asked her like, isn't that not much, you know, isn't that a little bit like cheap? I said to her, and then she said this thing, she said that when you reach my age, it feels like every single birthday present is the same thing. It's always something bought from a store, and it tends to be chocolates, or, you know, it's not personal. It's not something someone designed specifically for you and made specifically for you. It's not something someone chose and thought about and came to the decision that this is what the person needs. And because of that, it was very special to her. I couldn't understand it at that point of time because, you know, 16, 17-year-old version of me, oh my god, you bought me cards? That's the best present ever. I was an idiot, absolute idiot. But she told me that alongside a lot of different other things, and because of that, as I grew older, I came to realize that, my god, she's such a nice person. Her patience with my clumsy relationship advances, her explaining stuff that I wouldn't be able to understand at a point of time to me patiently, all this helped me grow to become a better person. Not immediately, but further down the line as I became older. So yeah, if you're watching this, thank you very much, Ning. But yeah, I highly doubt it. I believe she became an author and is writing books now. Not 100% sure. I haven't been keeping track of it. I probably should. Maybe she's married now. And moving along from the main host and Ning, we have Ling Xin. Ling Xin is one of those people that Ling Xin is one of the group of people that really kept me into cardistry, because at one point of time, I was organizing weekly meetups for cardistry in Singapore, for Singapore cardistry, and Ling was one of the first few people that got involved with it. At this point, I believe I was in junior college, so I was 17 years old, and every single week I would tell Ling like, hey, we're gonna do a meetup, you come in? And then she would come. Without her, definitely I would have quit way earlier. Her, Darren Yao, Leon Tai, these were the three main people that kept me in cardistry. There's a story about Darren Yao, we'll talk about it some other time, but basically her and Leon Tai, these two people, really kept me into cardistry. it was, at one point, it was almost religious. It was almost like going to church. This Saturday, 100%, we're meeting up, we're doing some cardistry, we'll walk around town and we'll discuss stuff. Ling Xin was always quite quiet, but she always had very deep thoughts about concepts within cardistry. And if you watch some of her older videos, you'll realize that a lot of the ideas that she produces in terms of cardistry videos is not just about cardistry. It's about a concept or an idea outside of cardistry being expressed using cardistry. And I really like her visions most of the time. I really like her visions. Sometimes it's a bit too abstract, then I can't get it, then I feel like she's leaving the audience members behind. But most of the times I'm like, oh, this one is about maybe anger, this is about alienation, maybe this is about whatnot. And yeah, her cardistry stuff was very cool to me. So Ling Xin is a very quiet person, but one day Ling Xin came up to me and she said like, hey Jaspas, I need your advice on something. At the point of time I was like, oh shit, she needs my advice on something. It's serious stuff. And I got real serious about it. She asked me, at this point of time I was studying in Serangoon Junior College. It's a junior college, not very good in Singapore. It's one of the bottom tier junior colleges. But being a junior college, it's already pretty up there. So it's like the worst of the best schools. That phrasing is a little bit shady, but let's just call it that for ease of understanding the situation. So she asked me, Jaspas, I'm thinking of applying to Serangoon Junior College too. What do you think I should do? Is it fun there? Are you enjoying yourself there? And at this point of time, because number one, because I had this really ridiculously high impression of Ling Xin, this high regards for Ling Xin, I thought 100% she'll be able to handle the coursework and the amount of homework that comes with this. Number two, because of my life in Serangoon JC had absolutely no cardists in it, had no magicians in it. It was just me. It's the loneliest, suckiest school experience I've had since secondary 1. So because of that, I told her like, yeah, come on man, come join Serangoon JC. I think it's really fun. I think you'll enjoy it. But the truth was that I myself wasn't really enjoying it. I didn't think it was super difficult. I thought the coursework was fine, but I think I let my personal feelings get in the way of making a decision that is best for her. Does that make sense? And this is a decision that I've regretted ever since I saw the outcome of what happened from Ling Xin joining Serangoon JC. The way I thought about it is that because Ling Xin is there, we would be able to support each other when we are in school. So like before school starts, maybe we'll meet in the canteen area and we'll be able to talk about cardistry stuff and talk about stuff in general. And then during like the breaks in between, we'll also be able to make more communication and stuff. So even though we're not in the same classes, we would be able to help each other, right? So instead of what I imagined to happening the way I imagined it, something else happened. Ling Xin definitely 100%. She managed to get into Serangoon Junior College with pretty high scores, I think. I think she did pretty well for the examinations before junior college. And I thought that we would be able to meet up before school quite a lot. But the truth was that it almost never happened. On one day, I would be like just reaching school right before the cutoff timing, before they close the gates and tell you to go home, go away, and get beaten by your parents. We almost never met in school. And because of that, I think she felt incredibly... I think she felt the loneliness of not having a cardistry magic friend in the school. the same way I did in the first year of my junior college life. Unfortunately though, at the end of I think the first year or the first half year of junior college school, she told me that she wasn't feeling it. She couldn't take this school life anymore. Maybe it was 9 months. I can't remember. But yeah, because of that, she dropped out of school, and it's one of my main regrets, I think. Yeah, I should have been more. I should have done everything very differently. I should have given her advice that was better suited to her needs. I should have given her honest opinions about how I myself am not like 100% enjoying the junior college lifestyle. I should have told her not what she wanted to hear, but what she needed to hear. It's something that I think about every now and then, that I should have been a better friend to Ling. I should have helped her by telling her not to go to the school that I was going to. Which is such a weird sentence to say. Ling Xin automatically... Oh no! Oh no, guys! The camera ran out of battery. Give me a moment. I was so close to finishing the story. God damn it. Ultimately, Ling Xin would go on to succeed in her profession and field of choice. But I won't go into too much detail about what she decided to do. I, however, using my high quality school certificate, had to go to university, where I went to study in the School of Art Design and Media. The School of Art Design Media gave me a degree, but technically that degree is pretty much absolutely useless because the certificate itself is not very valuable. What was valuable though, and what ultimately gave me the chance to have this experience with you guys, have this cardistry live streaming, video producing experience with you guys, is the training that I got under the awesome teachers there. It is the hands-on practice that I got with the friends and colleagues that I met there. And ultimately it is this place, the School of Art Design Media, that allowed me to trebuchet my way into the world of cardistry, into the professional top tier world of cardistry. It was at this place that I met the single most important person in my cardistry life, and for quite a long period of time, the single most important person in my life. It is at here that I met Loretta C. But then again, that's a story for another time. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the stories that I told you today, and a little bit of the backstory of your favorite online brother. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought of the stories. And for those of you guys who are not following me on School of Cardistry, not subscribed to the School of Cardistry channel, please go check it out. We now have the L-Card tutorial and the Around the World tutorial that have been recently produced, and they are so fantastic. You're gonna level up your cardistry simply by watching those two videos. Alright guys, take care of yourselves. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Online brother, out. Zoom zoom out. I need a new catchphrase. Zoom zoom out. Online brother, zoom zoom out.